Hey guys, I've played about 50 games with this new Law Leader, and I'm going to be going over the advantages and struggles that this deck has so you don't run into the same wall of humiliating defeat like I did starting out. This is a beginner to slightly advanced guide with some gameplay at the end to really showcase this deck's potential, so be sure to stick around, all the way through the video for the best results on this leader. I want to say real quick, guys, that this stuff did used to get locked behind my Patreon paywall, but I don't want to do that anymore. Instead, what I want to do is I want to make guides completely accessible for everyone for not only video formats as well as article formats. But instead of charging you guys for this information, what I want to do instead is I started selling limited edition thematic sleeves on my website for leaders that I believe are going to be either fan favorites or meta leaders, right? So instead of you guys paying for the information, I'd rather it be a win-win for both you and I. Is you support the channel and me, of course, and for me to keep making these guides, but also for you guys to be able to get some great quality sleeves to play with, right? In addition to this video guide, like I said, I'm going to have a written article on Green Yellow Law that I will be adding to after the ban list drops once we get a better idea of what the meta will be. After pre-sale, these prices will go up, and once they are sold out, we are never making them again. So, love you guys.
Heart Pirates TCG.
Alright guys, so what I'm going to do for you right now is I have a little bit of a slideshow graphic of some important information, some basic information just for yellow-green law, and then I have on Moonlight TCG a guide that goes over how to play against each matchup in the meta right now, and I'll link that down below. So, what we got is some basic key information. Like I said, we got always go second in every matchup except for Purple Luffy and Lucci. The 2-cost blocker, 2-cost character, any one of them, or 2 1-cost characters into Blocker Bonnie, into the 5-cost Supernova is the basic curve that you're looking for. Anything that can get you to 5, anything that can get you basically to 5 Dawn worth of stuff while also setting your top life is basically what you're looking for, right? But that's just the basic curve. Careful going down too low before Kid comes out to wall off, because what happens is if Kid comes out when you were taking too much pressure early on, then you're not gonna have enough cards to protect him, right? So basically what you want to do is you want to use your life, and you want to use like maybe a blocker to go down to 1 life or 0 life while having like 8 or 9 cards in hand, and that's when you drop the Kid wall right there, because Kid wall when you have like 4 or 5 cards in hand isn't really very good. So just be careful going down too low, because if you go down too low, then you're gonna have to counter before you necessarily want to, because you want to use that counter to protect the Kid. All right, so never discard searchers for countering hits mostly, right? So a lot of times, what we're talking about is generalities, right? Most of the time, in most situations, you're not going to want to use like your Luffy or your Bonnie or, any other searcher like that to counter hits, especially with the deck that protects the castle, right? Like Kid. The more resources you have, the better. So how you get those resources is keeping those searchers and protecting them with Kid. So you never really want to counter with those hits. That's why you use blockers strategically, and you also take life strategically, so you don't have to give us those counters to be safe. All right. You don't always have to use your leader effect every turn too. I think a lot of people, when they're playing this deck, they try to use their leader effect too quickly, and that's not really the point of this deck. The point of this deck is to get a little bit of advantage and early game tempo while using your leader effect, and then immediately after that you kind of just stabilize and with like the 7-cost Kid or 7-cost Law, and then Kid. Basically to protect yourself and to not die, right? But the early game, that's when you use your leader effect to basically just stabilize and create a value engine for you to be able to drop Kid and survive for like the next couple turns, all right? And then plan out Dawn before attacking to avoid extra Dawn at the end of the turn. I've done this so many times with this deck, guys, where I've attacked for like 6Ks or 7Ks, and at the end of my turn I had like 1 to like 3 or 4 extra Dawn left, and though that Dawn could have been used to get extra cards from my opponent's hand or get cards off the board, or searchers or whatever it is, right? So make sure you know what you're going to do and you plan out your Cavendish turns before you actually do it, because a lot of times when you end with extra Dawn, it's not necessarily good, because 1 extra Dawn is an extra card out of hand or an extra K, like 1K or 2K, whatever it is. So it's very very important that you use all of your Dawn, unless you're trying to, like, the problem is, like, even you can't really bait an event with this deck because there's no events that are actually good in yellow or green. Maybe El Thor, you know, Punk Gibson, something like that, but that's not normally, people aren't normally like playing around stuff like that anyway, so they don't normally worry about that. Now if it was like purple, of course you can bait a Dawn up for like a Gum Gum Giant, or, you know, red, baited Dawn up for like Rad Beam or Guard Point, but, you know, this color combination, people don't normally respect it. All right. And by the way, guys, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm very close to 10,000 subscribers. Also like the video to boost it in the algorithm so more people can see this. It would really help me out a lot. So I used to wall this off behind Patreon, but now I'm going to be giving it away for free. Like I said, all I'm looking for, you know, for your support is, you know, to pre-order like sleeves or anything like that. So this is basically what you should be doing for first leader effect and second leader effect, right? So the first leader effect, you should normally go into Cavendish because Cavendish creates the value engine for you to be able to play with extra Dawn and things like that. It doesn't have to be Cavendish though, because if you're going into Law the following turn, then on 7 Dawn, Law gives you enough to be able to use your leader effect. I like going Cavendish first, but it could be the blocker Law too, to play like, you know, like a Shirahoshi or, you know, whatever it is, right? Whatever kind of cards that you have in hand, but it's normally either a Cavendish or Law. I prefer Cavendish, but it just depends on the situation. That's the first leader effect. The second leader effect should always be, or most of the time, if you're playing correctly, right, should be like Law into this blocker Law, or whichever one you didn't play the turn before, and the blocker Law picks up the little guys to add them back to hand so you can play Kid, and then plays like a blocker or another searcher. And what that does is it gives you 2 blockers or multiple cards in hand to be able to basically go down to 0 life or protect yourself from going down to 0 life without discarding any cards. And then the next turn you just drop Kid and you set up permanently for, you know, at 0 life or 1 life, and you hide behind like Tashigi and you know, blockers and things like that. That way this card can never really get off the board, right? And the whole time you're basically just going Bonnie and Searcher Luffy to get cards to your hand, which we'll talk about here, right? So I found myself in most games barely trading into board. This deck doesn't generate enough advantage in the late parts of the game to protect Kid forever, so a lot of times I just kind of ignore board and go for life, because they have to deal with Kid. They have to kill Kid, and then they have to kill me, and sometimes it takes them a couple turns to kill Kid. And if you're eating into their life, you know, 9Ks, 7Ks, you know, multiple turns in a row, it makes it really hard for them to actually survive long enough to kill Kid and then attack into your life. It's pretty tough, right? So later in the game, it seems as though you only really have space on the board, because you always have like a blocker for Kid, and then you always have Kid on the board. So usually you only have like a Cavendish, a blocker, Kid, and then like maybe a Bonnie, and then like one other card, right? So usually that's enough for you to like that's usually like the general board state. Later in the game, it seems as though you only have Bonnie, you know, giving you a free blocker or 2k every turn. That's not normally enough to make up for multiple 8k or 10k attacks, which is why, like I said, we usually go after life, right? Because as good as Bonnie is behind Kid, it makes it really tough to, like, you know, if they're attacking multiple times for 10k, you're basically getting rid of 2 cards per attack or a blocker. And if they have multiple of those, Bonnie isn't going to make up for the resources lost every turn when they're attacking into Kid, right? So that's the reason we go into life. I pretty much go into life unless you absolutely need to get something off the board to protect Kid or to survive, but usually you're in a bad spot anyway if that's the case, right? So like if you really need to get, you know, like a certain character off the board or you're gonna die, you're probably losing already, but unless that is the case and you need to protect Kid for like one more turn to win the game, that's the only reason you should ever really trade into board for the most part, unless you're playing against another Kid wall deck with like Smoker or Bonnie, right? What counters Green Yellow Law? I'm not gonna lie, guys, this deck gets countered by a lot of stuff, right? So Pudding destroys this deck, right? Like this deck can really, like, it doesn't have enough time if you get Pudding to generate more card advantage after you play Kid, because you're so low once you play the first Kid that you can't just like play Kid and then like have multiple turns after you're putting to catch up and really like gain those resources back. It's just not possible a lot of the times, right? Like if you play Kid and don't turn him sideways, you're probably gonna die. If you play Kid and turn him sideways, you don't have enough like character or cards in hand to protect the Kid, and it's just really rough. So Pudding absolutely destroys this deck. Gravity Blade as well. You know, decks that can generate early removal, like I said right here, before Tashigi can be established. You know, getting rid of Cavendish or like, you know, your cards early really hurts. Really turns off leader effect. It's a pretty fragile deck, I'm not gonna lie to you. And then decks that can pressure you before you can go into Kid wall safely, like Luffy or Dofi, makes it really tough for this deck to really thrive. I think this deck gets a lot better next set, but right now it's not the best of decks, but I think it's good in certain situations, right? Like depending on matchups, it's good. And then decks that turn off on plays like Blackbeard. Now we do have a match coming up where we did win that matchup, but I don't think he was like the most amazing of players, and I got kind of lucky as well. So and then the final slide I have for you guys is like, you know, what does Law excel into? It's any deck that basically can wall off behind Kid. This is basically just a Kid wall deck with like a little bit of extra spice, allows you to be a little bit, you know, more cool with your plays and be flashy and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like the deck it revolves and thrives around protecting Kid. So it's basically Bonnie with a little bit of a different spice to it. As much as I hate to say that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a huge fan of playing a deck like Bonnie. Not anymore, since, you know, set one was different. Like it was like new and fun and interesting. Now like we've seen Kid wall for, you know, 8, 9, 10 sets in a row, you know, have some type of variance in the format. So, you know, this is basically a Kid deck. And I'm sure for those of you guys who've been playing for a couple sets, any deck that, you know, can't get rid of Kid very easily is going to lose to this deck, basically. And that's kind of how it goes. Also, any deck that's like super slow in the meta, right? Like green, like a purple yellow Crocodile or Robin, you know, or, you know, something like that. Or Enel, right? They're gonna lose to Law because Law is explosive and they don't have enough characters to actually like punish you for going down super low too early. So a deck like Robin or Enel, or, you know, one of those decks right there that takes a little bit to set up is going to lose to this deck. Maybe even a deck like Boa Hancock per se, because, you know what I'm saying, like the Red Rock doesn't matter because we have Tashigi, but I'm not really entirely sure on that. I haven't really played that matchup with this deck in particular. So with that being said, let's go into the games, and I'm going to show you guys 2 really fun games that were nail biters of me playing this deck, and we'll talk about that. All right, here's the Blackbeard matchup. I really want to go second in this matchup and force him to use leader effect starting turn 1 if we can find double search or Luffy, which is a pretty tough call. Like usually we don't find shit like that. Like double Luffy is pretty rare. It would be nice though. This isn't as good, so I do want to mulligan this. This is okay. It's not great, but it's not awful. There's the second Luffy right there. Cavendish is decent here. This Law doesn't really matter too much. But we're never really going to get Cavendish's effect, realistically. So I think I'd rather have the blocker instead. Well, maybe we'll keep Cavendish just in case. In case he doesn't have Finger Pistol, we can get some value off of it. Yeah, and then there's the dot Q. Oh, he doesn't use it. Okay. That's surprising. I guess just to get value off the... Just to get value off this Luffy, I might as well swing with it. This is a tough matchup for sure. If this matchup is like, depending on the ban list, we're gonna figure out what the best cards are for this matchup. Or I'm sorry, we're gonna be able to tech more cards in depending on like what we don't have to worry about. Right now, like I am a little worried about a couple other things like BY Luffy and like Dofi and shit like that. So we're playing a little bit more heavy like other cards. Is this? I want to stay slightly healthy. If I can give him a 1k, I'll keep it. Damn, he's got the Burgess. So yeah, depending on the ban list, we can rearrange this deck to Basically, so yeah, we're gonna play the Cavendish here. Hopefully he doesn't have Finger Pistol. He does other. They always have the Finger Pistol, bro. Like, it's not searchable at all, but they always have it. All right, uses leader effect. Do we just low-key, like, just starve them out? Is that honestly what we do? I think that is what we could do. So I think we're gonna just go something like... Is it what we do? Think of it like... Let's think of it like this. If we punch into them, they just keep having resources to always use their effect. If we starve them out, we might eventually be able to use our effect. He only has 4 cards left. I kind of want to starve him out, to be honest with you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Search for more bodies. We're going to search for a Cavendish. We're going to play a Cavendish, and we're going to pass. Hopefully he doesn't have another Finger Pistol. Looks like he milled 2. He milled 1 off his one. So he hopefully doesn't have another one. Hopefully he doesn't have another one. If he doesn't have another one, we can play it. We can go pretty wide. We can go like Law, Tashigi, or yeah, Tashigi Law. That might be pretty huge. He's going to go Kuzan here. Gonna go into a Burgess, okay. We do have Straw Sword, which is massive in this matchup, but I don't think we want to waste it on the Burgess. I don't think we do. So we're gonna take this one, of course. There's no reason not to. We get a free Bonnie. We can basically get Bonnie for free. I kind of do have to give him this Doc Q though, because he's gonna keep popping Bonnie. I do want him to swing. So I guess the what's it called is over. The starve was good while it lasted, right? Is because we have to kill this Doc Q because this body I want him to swing into it with one of these guys right here. And to do that I need to pop this basically. So I can go Bonnie plus Law for 7 and then get 2 Dawn back. So that gives me an extra Dawn. So I can go Bonnie, Law, Tashigi. I think that's what we're going to do. Unless I get something better. We're going to get a blocker here. That's even better than Tashigi. Then we're going to go 7. And then we're going to do something like this plus this. We're going to pass. All right. Decent board. If he has Blackbeard, that is a little tough. I'm not going to cap to you guys. I think next turn we're going to play Kid. Oh, he's got the Liberation. Yeah. Card's so lame, bro. Yeah, he's going to swing like 8, 9. Can't really do much to that. Oh, it goes Lafitte. Okay. So I'm going to be able to counter out of one of these. Unless he swings into Bonnie. If he doesn't swing into Bonnie, then it's good. Oh, he doesn't swing into Bonnie. Okay. So we're going to counter out with the Capone. Keep the Tashigis just in case. We're going to take this Burgess hit. Not swinging to Bonnie definitely does... It's definitely a mistake, to say the least. We are able to play Kid. If he goes Teach... We're not worried about this Lafitte right here, because if he plays Kid, or Blackbeard, he can't ever use this. So we're going to swing... To play around Finger Pistol, we're going to swing 6 here. And we're going to be able to activate the Kid. Oh, we should have used Bonnie's effect first, actually. So we're going to do Bonnie's effect first. Keep trying to find blockers and shit like that. Or I guess the Luffy's fine, too. We're going to go 5 into leader. So we're going to be able to play Kid. Kid's going to be able to play a blocker. We're going to have a life and the Kid out. So he has to play the Teach here to get around the Kid. So we're going to play the Kid, play the blocker, and then pass. There's a justification to play the fucking Tashigi instead, but I don't think he can kill this Kid. At least not like... I don't think he can... Okay, yeah, I figured that was going to be his response. That was going to be his response. He's going to swing 10 probably into life. That's totally fine. Honestly, bro, we're going to counter. Gives me a 1k anyway. And we're going to take this life. And we're going to just hopefully find... Well, we found another Kid, actually. That's fucking massive. We have another blocker, which is massive. I'm sorry, we don't have another blocker, but how many 2Ks has he gone through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This deck only plays like 8 2Ks, so we might actually be able to go for game. If we Straw Sword this, we can go 7, 7, 9, or we can go 8, 8, 8. Actually, not a bad idea. Let's see. Because if we go kid here, we have another blocker. If we go kid, we can go kid. We can go kid and then put 2 Dawn on like this kid and this kid. Thinking. Yeah, if we go kid here, we can go 2 Dawn on both these kids. So like even if he plays another Blackbeard, he has to swing into this one. And we have enough counter to protect it. I actually think we might win this. So let's do this. I'm gonna go 5 here. All right, it's perfect. And we're gonna go something like activate. We don't use this effect to play Tashigi, do we? No, because he can't liberation. He can't liberation any of these unless he like cost minuses. And we can't protect this anyway. Choose no targets. Oh shit, I forgot I can't use this effect. I'm tripping, bro. I'm bripping, bro. I forgot about that. I'm telling you guys, I cannot play this game. Mentally retarded. We have blockers at least, which is huge. So we're gonna do something like... Do we free block this? If we free block this... No, because he just swings. Yeah, he just swings. So we're gonna go ahead and just give him the 2K here. We're gonna Straw Sword one of these. I think we can win now. I think we just Straw Sword. I think we math it out. We have 3 attacks. So we're gonna go 9, 9, 9, 9. We don't have the math, but... Or do we go 8? Do we go greedy and go 8 here? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. Wait, no. 5, 6. I'm calling him on it. I'm calling him on. I'm going 8. You don't have 2 2Ks. Two, 3, 4. We're gonna go 9 here and then 10. There's the finger pistol. There's the GG. Possibly. He said, well played. Does he have the 3 2Ks? Potentially. He said, I've never seen that car before. It's an old one. Let's go. The Straw Sword tech is too good. The Straw Sword tech is too good. Yeah, that was fun, man. That was such a fun game. Holy shit. That was really fun. The Straw Sword tech is too nasty, bro. It's too nasty. All right, man. We got Black Purple Luffy. He said, hey, you guys can't see it because I have my camera over it. I'm going to say, yo. All right, so he's going first. We're going to go second. We're looking for a Luffy plus, I almost said a Warlord, bro. I'm fucking dopey brained. We're looking for a Luffy. We're looking for a Bonnie. And we're looking for a Supernova. So we're going to mulligan. We get a Supernova. We don't get anything else realistically, though. But we have the beige. It's not awful. We have a Bonnie, just not the one we're really looking for. So I think what we're going to do is something like... Just play Shirahoshi. I don't think we care about taking these hits. I do believe we do play... Okay. What is this guy doing? Oh, he does ramp with the Black Maria. That's funny. Wait, does he? Yeah, because he's one ahead of... That's funny, actually. So I do believe we just go something like 5 into leader and then play X-Drake and Bonnie. And then next turn we can... This is... Wait, no, hold on. This is 5. Oh, we could have gone 6, actually. No, we couldn't have, because we don't know our top... We don't know our top card. So I think we just go X-Drake plus Bonnie. And on the following turn, we go Bonnie Search, play the beige... Or maybe what we do is we go hard play Cavendish, play the beige as well to stack the law up. Actually, I like that way better. So we're gonna do this. That's what we're gonna do. Because next turn we're gonna go to 6. We're gonna get 3 Dawn back, so we can put 1 on leader, tap 1 for Bonnie, and we can play beige. So we'll have 3 Dawn. We'll have 3 Dawn perfectly to be able to do basically the whole wombo combo. This deck is really tough, by the way, guys. This deck is really tough. I don't think this deck has any way of getting rid of 8-cost kids. So I do think we're not. I don't think it's wrong to. What is this card? What does this card do? When attacking, you may place 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Then if opponent has 5 or more cards in it, they trash a card. Once returned, this character cannot be KO'd by effects. Okay, that doesn't exactly matter. This is a decent card, though. I don't know if it's decent, but it's like kind of annoying. Like low key, because we're always going to discard a card basically with this card's effect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go play this. We're going to do this whole shenanigan. I think we just get a 2K here. I don't think the Bonnie necessarily matters right now. I think the 2K is just more important, but we are going to put these 2 cards more closer to the front. Then we're going to go something like rest this to rest that Black Maria. That card's fucking annoying. Then we're going to go 6 into that. And then we're going to go ahead and play the beige, take the top life, put the law there, do this, play that, pick up the... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter either way, does it? I guess we'll just pick up the Bonnie to not play anything else. Yeah. If we had a Luffy, that would have been better. Maybe we should have gotten Bonnie instead, now that I think about it. Just to have the extra blocker on the board. A little bit of a mistake. Frankie... Okay, just Gecko into Frankie, I guess. Damn, I think this deck might actually crush us, low-key. Trying to think how we win this game, because he just has so much, like, stuff. I think we just chump block this, and we just block... Or we chump block that, and then we... Do we just take that, honestly? We're going to 8? No, we don't take that. We're going to block. We could do the whole... We could search with Luffy here. Let's search with Luffy here, see what we get first. Oh, actually, we could just play Kid. Could play the Kid wall. We could play Kid. And then if we play Kid... Let me think real quick. This deck is hard. I said, let me think real quick. This deck is hard. Alright, so if we play Kid, we could restand 2 Dawn. 1 with Cavendish, 1 with our leader. We could Blind Fire their leader effect. We don't have any blockers to really play off this, though. So what we could do instead is we could just play the Luffy, see what we get. I mean, he does have 2 pretty big attacks. He's going to have probably 2 pretty big attacks. If he goes Gear 5 next turn, we just kind of automatically lose. So I think we do just have to play the Kid. Funny enough. 6 here, restand some Dawn. Okay, he's going to go Gum Gum Giant here. I guess, okay, that's an interesting one. Interesting call. So how about we do this instead? We could do something like... We could give our Dawn... Or we could... Oh, shit. How about this, guys? Check this out. We're going to give our Dawn to Kid. Kid's going to rest itself to play a Beige. Beige take the top life. Play the... Ooh, we can play Law here. Oh, this would be nasty. This is so nasty, bro. Holy shit. So now we're going to go 6. That's crazy. That's a crack play, actually. Play the beige and then get both of them back. And then play a... play that. Get a blocker in return. Get both the 2Ks back. Play the Luffy. Luffy draws us a blocker. That's nasty! That is nasty, bro. Holy shit. That is nasty. I like that play a lot. Alright, so he's probably going to take some cards out of my hand. Just using this guy's effect. I don't necessarily need this law anymore. So we're going to go ahead and give him a... I don't want to give him this Bonnie. I'd rather give him a 2K, or actually we can give him this law. This law isn't useful right now. I didn't see the law right there. I want to save the straw sword just in case he tries to block her up. I do actually, funny enough, think that like blocking here with law is good because I want to play this Bonnie anyway, and I have to replace some of these. So I think I'm gonna just block with law. If he goes 11 here, I block with law again because I don't think it matters too much. Because I have 3 big attacks basically, and with straw sword, I'm never worried really about a blocker. So I think we just block with law there to preserve resources and to get space back. Because him playing Frankie here doesn't really matter. He's just gonna swing 8 again, and we're gonna give him a 2K. We're gonna give him the beige because we can actually go straw sword plus the X Drake, and just rest both of these guys. So we don't actually care. So the last cards we're gonna give him are these 2 guys right here. Oh, actually, no, we can't because these are 5s, but it doesn't matter. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go 2 with this guy. Get a 2K counter. How about we go 7 into leader. This is so fun. I like this deck. How much extra Dawn do we have left though? Because we're gonna hard play the law. So I want to use the 1 Dawn on Bonnie as well. So we're gonna hard play the law. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna give us 2 back though. So realistically, it's gonna give us 2 back because we're gonna restand the Cavendish. We need 1 for Kid. We need 1 for Bonnie. So we can go another 7. We can go 7, 9, 9. Yeah, I like that. I think I'd like that. Oh, actually, I can't play Bonnie. I'm tripping. I can go 10 though. Do I play the blocker here? Do I play the blocker here? I'm gonna play the blocker. Too greedy, too horny. Too horny for damage, because this guy has 9 cards in hand. Like, what is that really gonna do? Because if he goes like 9, 8, or he goes like, I don't want him to just go like really tall and kill the kid. Now I have to like play on the back foot, and I have to be put on the clock basically. So think of it like this: like if I go deep into his life right there, he's gonna use that effect. If I go deep into his life right there, with the kid and only have 1 blocker, he can just go really tall on like these 2 guys right here, and he's gonna take the law blocker out, and then he's gonna make me like get a bunch of cards out of my hand. I'm gonna keep the Bonnie, of course. I'm gonna get rid of probably he might not put a Dawn on this fucker, so I might be able to get away with this. Just in case, I'm gonna give him the Hiyori. And I'm gonna go 2k, 2k. And if he swings 10 again, I'm gonna block with the Bonnie. If he swings 11, I'm gonna block. I don't think he's going to, though. I think he might play like another blocker or some shit. Fuck. I don't want that. I can't really go for lethal, though, can I? I might be able to. Shit. Now that I don't have Straw Sword. I was gonna say, now that I don't have Straw Sword, this is 4 massive attacks going into his life. He's only been through... I don't know how many 2Ks he's been through. But if I Straw Sword him here, he has one Dawn, 8 cards in hand, and I have a 7, 7, 7, 9. I think I'm gonna do it, bro. I don't think I can survive another turn. Let me see what he does. Let me see what he does first. He's not gonna block with his Frankie. That'd be fucking retarded. Let me see what he gives me. If he gives me 2 2Ks, then I don't think I'm going for it. 2K, 1K, okay. Do I fucking go for this here? Because I have a blocker. I could have potentially another blocker. I have 2 2Ks and a 1K. With the Bonnie. He had basically 4 attacks. So I basically, like, he'd swing 10, 10. He'd swing 1 Dawn with this, which would make 10. I'm sorry, 1 Dawn with this, which leaves him with 9 left. He'd 3 Dawn with this, which means he'd have 6 left. So he'd be able to swing 10, 10, which is probably just like a block. And if I don't find another blocker, then it's just a block and a 2K, 1K, which would leave me with like 1 card in hand, or like 2 cards in hand necessarily if I find something off Bonnie that isn't a blocker but a counter. And then he'd have this plus this. I might be able to do it, bro. Do I risk it, though? Do I risk it? He has so many fucking cards. 6 cards in hand. He has 1 Dawn up, so... Alright. Sorry. A couple more seconds. Alright, so if I swing into him, or I'm sorry, if I stall out, right? I play the Bonnie. And I search for either a 2K, hopefully a 2K or a blocker. Blocker would be better. A blocker would be better. And if I find a blocker, I would just have basically these 3 cards in hand. These 3 cards in hand. 2K, 2K, 1K. Have 2 blockers. And I'd be able to basically block both the 10s going into life. Or one of the 10s and counter the other one. And then you have 6 Dawn left to split between like Sanji plus Luffy. And I'd still be able to swing pretty tall. I'm gonna stall out. That is technically a blocker. I could go like hard play Law. Bounce back the Bonnie and then play the Bonnie again. That's what I'm gonna do. So I need 5 for Law, 1 for Bonnie, 1 for Kid. Do I have that? 5 for Law, 1 for Bonnie, 1 for... Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. This is like a really hard decision, so I'm trying to play this right for you guys, so you guys can see like the right play. If it is the right play, I think it is. This is like the decision making you have to make. So we're gonna play that again. Search again. Now we get a 2K. We already have Straw Sword, so it doesn't matter. This is the best case scenario. We got double blockers, and we just got another 2K to hand. We're gonna put the Straw Sword just in case, right there. I think we can go for lethal next turn. Actually, I think we can go for lethal next turn if we don't die. If we don't die, ideally, I don't want to block with these guys because they are attackers. So if he goes 10, this is even better. I really don't want to give up. Bro, is it greedy to not give up the Straw Sword? Is it better to just give him like the 1K instead? I'm giving him this one. That card's annoying as fuck though in this matchup. Oh my god. We're gonna give him the beige here. We do gotta block this one. Top Knot? What did you just Top Knot? What is that card? Oh, Bonnie, okay. Alright, so now we definitely have to go for game. We definitely have to go for game next turn. And we're going to force him to put 3 Dawn on this guy and swing. So we're going to get rid of the Law for sure. Well, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. I'd rather him put 3 Dawn on this, though, so I get rid of any Giant, potentially. Okay, we're going to block. Perfect. We're going to Straw Sword. And I think that's game over, actually. Let's go! Let's go! GG! Oh my god, that was so fun, bro. Oh man, so fun. Great game. Going on YouTube for sure. So great. Yeah. That was great, man. That was so fun.